Welcome to our novel, Sons of Power. Hit that like button and subscribe to our channel if you have not done so already.
In the waning twilight of the Western Roman Empire, the Garamantians numbered among the many ambitious tribes and nations that assailed the colossal Roman war machine, which was struggling to secure its sprawling frontiers across Europe, Asia, and Africa. Once Roman citizens residing near Leptis Magna, our ancestors had their loyalties tested by undisclosed events, shifting their allegiances and prioritizing their Garamantian heritage over their Roman affiliations. The reasons for this shift may remain shrouded in the fog of time, whether political strife or war, but the legacies of our tribal forebears, steeped in Roman military culture, endure. Centuries of silence passed until the era of my grandfather emerged. The grand civilizations of both Rome and Garamantia had crumbled, their former territories claimed by Arabs who demanded our conversion to Islam or death. My grandfather, on his deathbed, charged me with chronicling our family's history in Latin, urging me to delve into the manuscripts and tomes penned by our ancestors. "Never forget who you are, do not forsake your roots," he whispered, his last words bestowing upon me the responsibility of leading hundreds in our ancestral region near Lake Chad. Pursued relentlessly by Muslims who had already claimed my father's life, we ventured southward in search of refuge within the dense forests, where our foes' horses and camels would lose their advantage. Our diluted Latin allowed us to communicate with European Christians we encountered along our journey, escaped slaves who sought sanctuary in our company, deeming a southern journey far safer than risking a return to Europe. These 6 souls, with their unfamiliar features and striking eyes, were welcomed into our fold, despite the tribesmen's initial suspicions of sorcery. One of the women among them remained quiet, her brother speaking on her behalf. They hailed from southern Italy's coastline, seized in a raid 2 years prior and sold into slavery to a powerful caliph who sought to learn European languages from them. But when whispers of being traded to a ruthless warlord surfaced, they fled in terror, fearing the atrocities he was known to inflict upon his European slaves. Felicia, the striking yet fearful woman, and the other Europeans were assured of their safety within our ranks, but all were expected to fight if required. We marveled at the wonder of the equatorial forest and forged on. The Europeans, enchanted by the beauty around them, resolved to make this remote land their home and committed to being part of our clan. As we journeyed, we encountered tribes whose territory we hoped to inhabit peacefully. Some of our travelers decided to stop along the way, while the core of our caravan followed my leadership to the end. In accordance with our customs, I was offered the granddaughters of elder women in my extended family as potential brides. I took 3 as my wives, but my heart yearned for Felicia to become my 4th. Our search for a home led us to an idyllic landscape nestled between majestic mountains and the vast Atlantic Ocean. We named the land Sanya, where we built the city of Kigoma and flourished for years. Felicia, too, eventually acquiesced to my affections, becoming my 4th wife. Our people enjoyed years of peace, establishing trade networks with distant neighbors. Yet our tranquility was disrupted by the aggression of a powerful warlord named Yoka. Our victory over his forces in 1269 and subsequent conquest of his lands came at the cost of a son. As our people multiplied, Kigoma grew into a kingdom renowned throughout the region. Yet Yoka, a cunning and popular leader, incited a coalition of tribes against us in an attempt to reclaim his lost territories. Though we were well armed, I grew weary of constantly defending our land. I resolved to raise a force powerful enough to subdue the entire region, ensuring lasting peace. After all, the pursuit of peace often necessitates preparation for war. My son, Caesar Wabonga, the offspring of Felicia and me, is proving to be one of my fiercest warriors, with a zero tolerance for failure and an accomplished fighter's prowess. As my own strength is waning, he assumes command and his authority goes unchallenged. I have been Kigoma's prince, but Wabonga would become its first king. Yet I worry that his ambitious aspirations to expand our realm will breed too many enemies, but the decision is ultimately his, as my time in this life is drawing to a close.
In the waning years of the 15th century, Kogoma had evolved from a humble principality to the thriving capital of a kingdom teeming with 1 million souls. People from all corners migrated to our cities, eager to partake in the safety and prosperity under our dominion. King Nzinga Makoso of Clan Wabonga presided over the crown in 1482, commanding unrivaled respect, an inheritance from his forebear Caesar Wabonga, who had long taught his neighbors not to cross him. But King Nzinga had grander designs. He aspired to rule over such expansive territories that he could rightfully call himself the King of Africa, an audacious dream, but given our military superiority, not an unattainable one. Believing that Kogoma could never truly enjoy peace while our neighbors had the capacity to regroup and strike against us, King Nzinga initiated a massive recruitment drive. His goal? To amass the largest force our kingdom had ever seen, setting the stage for his ensuing campaign of conquest. Over 2 decades, his troops advanced east, north, and south, relentlessly pushing our borders outward. As our kingdom grew, so too did the resentment towards us. Despite their efforts, the neighboring lords proved powerless against our unstoppable tide of conquest. Ultimately, King Nzinga found himself the ruler of almost the entire western swath of the Central African landscape. The conquered territories were carved into royal provinces, each governed by trusted members of his court. To the north lay the provinces of Nampoko, Kanyonga, and Loango. To the east, the vast lands nurtured by the mighty Severus River and its tributaries were split into 2 provinces, Mazembe and Kiwenda. Finally, to the south of Kogoma, the imperial lands were named Kitonga, after the mother of the newly self-appointed emperor. Under Emperor Nzinga's unchallenged rule, the imperial clan Wabonga flourished, constructing a network of cities that would lay the foundation of the burgeoning Kitonga Empire. The Sakali, descendants of Tinariwen and Felicia, emerged as the dominant tribe. Among them were the Roman clan, offspring of Italian refugees who had followed Tinariwen on his southern journey. Their sun-kissed skin earned them the moniker Sun Tribe, and they were recognized as the most faithful allies of the Wabonga clan. The Antsogo, the Andola, and the Mausa were the next in line of dominance. Named after their ancestral mothers, they are the offspring of Lord Tinariwen, born from the union with his first 3 wives. The Shingui, who were conquered by Emperor Nzinga, were now an integral part of our realm and steadfast allies. The Kitonga Empire was not just surviving, but thriving and expanding. However, it was not long before European powers took notice of not only our might, but our abundant gold. The Iberians were the first Europeans to be introduced to a Kitonganese emperor. In 1545, they arrived with the intention of spreading Christianity, only to discover that the faith had taken root in the empire since the days of Lord Tinariwen I. The Iberians then turned to trade, coveting our gold in exchange for their fur and tobacco. Soon the British, the French, the Dutch, and the Germans arrived, each bringing their own complexities to an already strained situation.
In the next episode, the mighty Emperor Cardi Alexandros of Roman Polynesia pays a visit to the beautiful Princess Nzinga, who faces the threat of French and British colonialism. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and let us know in the comments your favorite episode so far. We gladly invite you to subscribe to our channel in order to be kept in the loop as our story evolves. See you soon! Cheers!